Patents. Patents, in many ways, are the foundation of the modern world. Almost everything that you use in your daily life was, at one point or another, patented. Everything from the smartphone in your pocket to the car that you may drive to the shoes and clothes that you are currently wearing. It all started as a patent. The reason for this is quite simple. Patents protect new ideas, letting people profit from their pioneering products. By making a patent, it prevents others from copying your idea so that you, the inventor, can finally see the fruits of your labor, allowing new ideas to blossom and grow. But should there be a limit to what a patent can protect as an innovation? The answer to this question is, of course, yes, but to understand why, we must travel back to the year 1994. A medical pharmaceutical company by the name of Myriad had just made a major breakthrough. They had managed to isolate two DNA genomes, BRCA1 and BRCA2, two fundamentally important genes that will help identify if a woman is susceptible to breast cancer. If there is a mutation in either one of these genes, a woman can get preventative surgery before any cancer had even developed, which undoubtedly would save millions of lives. In the following year, Myriad Genetics patented both of these genes, which quickly spirals into a significant problem for the general public. Because Myriad Genetics patented the genes themselves, not the process used to isolate them or something similar, it means that nobody outside of the company can research the genes independently or provide tests that even look at the genes. As a result, the company gained a complete monopoly over anything involving these two genes, leading to the prices of these potentially life-saving medical tests to skyrocket to over $3,000. In 2013, the Association for Molecular Pathology brought these patents into question, arguing that clearly you cannot patent a human genome, and that Myriad's shady patenting practices directly harm consumers by charging exorbitant prices for potentially life-saving tests. This case went all the way to the Supreme Court. In a complete consensus by the court, they agreed that no, you cannot patent human genes, or any other natural genes for that matter. After all, patents protect inventions, not discoveries. However, the court ruling specifically mentioned that while any natural genes were off the table for patents, any man-made genes, called complementary DNA, or cDNA for short, can still be patented. This ruling becomes even more of an issue when you realize how vague the distinction between cDNA and DNA is. As long as any element of the gene is altered, even slightly, it can be argued that the gene no longer exists in nature. Because of its newly classified man-made structure, it can be protected under a patent. Again, this leads into the same problem that we faced before. No professionals can conduct any scientific research on the subject, nor can competitors offer tests, medical assistance, or products to decrease the prices that patients face. But beyond this, why is this a problem? Although the ruling invalidated several products from Myriad, it barely left any broader impact on the larger pharmaceutical industry. Perhaps the most striking example that everyone is aware of is insulin. Insulin is a hormone used by the body to control blood sugar levels. Most people produce it naturally in their body, so they don't have to worry about it, but individuals with diabetes have difficulty doing so, and so have to take it artificially. In 1921, this hormone was first discovered and subsequently patented. In order to supply the incredible demand of insulin, these patents for insulin were given to four companies, shown on screen now, for the purposes of mass production. For context, a patent's protection usually lasts about 20 years. However, these pharmaceutical companies kept continually making incremental improvements and changes to the hormone, which had kept it under patent for a full century now. As a result, these companies have the same iron grip over this hormone that Myriad had on BRCA1 and BRCA2. This, I'm sure as you can deduce, has increased the price of this miraculous medicine to ridiculous heights. This case was a chance for the court to protect individuals of this country, but instead the issues at hand had been ignored and instead pushed further down the road and swept under the rug. Why is it that these companies can continue to lock away such remarkable scientific discoveries from researchers and competitors? Imagine this practice being used in any other scientific field. For example, in 1947, the telecommunications company AT&T research division, Bell Labs, created the first transistor. If you are unfamiliar, a transistor is a device that amplifies or switches electrical signals and powers. Today is one of the foundational building blocks of modern electronics, with the computers of today sometimes holding hundreds of millions of transistors in their circuitry. Much like the two examples listed earlier, the transistor was incredibly innovative. However, while the initial design of the transistor was licensed, meaning people could pay to use the specific design of the transistor used by Bell Labs, the concept of the transistor was not patented. So other researchers, like engineers, companies, could research and improve on the design themselves. This is in stark contrast to both Myriad's patents on the genes and those held on insulin. This open nature of the technological innovation from every other scientific field of study has allowed us to evolve as a species to new technological and informational heights. But the pharmaceuticals industry's insatiable greed has locked itself into a pit of insatiable hunger that can never be satisfied and must be changed.